This is R2D Tech and we're back again with another video today about the Galaxy Fold, so stay tuned. So in terms of design, the Galaxy Fold is actually a lot more polished than I thought it was going to be. It's so much better than the FlexPi Royale which we saw earlier this year at CES, which had various problems with software and hardware, and the Galaxy Fold just looks so much better than that. Now when the phone is closed you get a 4.6 inch display as well as a front-facing camera. Now, the display might seem small, but you have to take into account that you're not going to be using that display all the time. It's basically just to check messages and do quick tasks. When you open the phone, you get a 7.3 inch display, which is massive. Now, one thing I found slightly weird is that Samsung don't offer a stylus with it. And since it's such a big display, you can imagine that some people will want to take notes or maybe draw. So I find it a little bit weird that they didn't offer one. You do also get a pretty big notch on the top right corner which houses a few cameras, and I also find that weird because you don't really need those cameras when the phone is open because you have that front facing camera when it's closed. It just makes it look a lot less premium than I would have hoped. Samsung do also offer the phone in various different colours, and you can even customize the back of the hinge with a different color if you want, which is a nice touch.
In terms of software implementation, Samsung have done a few things to make the One UI work with the folding phone, and they've worked with Google to do this. First of all, they have a continuous navigation system, so whatever you're viewing on the 4.6 inch display on the front will automatically be on the larger display when you unfold the phone, so you don't need to reopen the app or anything like that. Next, they've hidden the notch at the top of the large display with a black bar where they have information like your data and stuff like that. So the notch is never actually clearly visible, which I like personally. And finally, they've improved the multitasking a lot on their Samsung software. So you can have up to 3 apps open at once, for example, like YouTube when you're searching the web at the same time. And this is very useful, especially on a large display, so that allows you to use the device as a tablet if you want to.
So now we're going to talk about the camera setup. So when the phone is closed, on the front you get a selfie camera, and on the back you get an ultra wide sensor, a wide sensor and a telephoto lens. So it's actually really similar to the S10. When you open the phone you get a selfie camera and also a depth sensor. So that's basically what you get on the front of the S10 Plus.
In terms of specs, the Galaxy Fold has a massive 12GB of RAM, which is definitely going to keep your phone very fast and crisp in the long term. Now, this is a lot more than we get on some other phones, iPhones, this year.
Oh no, he didn't.
Now, you also get a massive 4380 mAh battery, which is more than enough to get you through a full day. The way they do this is by splitting it into 2 separate batteries, one on each half of the phone, and they connect in a very smart way. Now, in terms of storage, you have 512GB of storage, which isn't the terabyte that you can get on the S10, but it's definitely more than enough, especially with the cloud services these days. Unfortunately, you don't have expandable storage like the other phones, but you probably won't need it anyway. And finally, the displays are both AMOLED displays on this phone, so you can black out the pixels at the top if you want to hide the notch, which is definitely a cool feature. One last thing to mention is that you have a fingerprint sensor on the power button of this phone, so it's definitely easily accessible, and it will probably be a bit faster than the ultrasonic ones under the display on the S10.
So, in conclusion, with this phone coming out in April, a lot of people are going to be asking the question, do they want to buy this phone? Now, for me, I would actually wait until the second generation phone, until they've kind of tweaked the design features that were kind of annoying with this phone, like that notch and the thickness when it's closed. Now, it is still a really polished phone, and if you have the money and really want something like this, then you should still go for it. But for me, I'm going to wait. That's it from us at R2D Tech. We're going to be releasing more content like this in the future. If you liked the video, give us a thumbs up. If you loved it, please consider subscribing.